Good morning students. This is a video for the students of class 8, subject science, chapter number 14, that is chemical effects of electric current. This is your lecture number 4. In this lecture, I will provide you the solution of all the NCERT questions. So let's start. Question number 1 is fill in the blanks. A part is most liquids that conduct electricity are solutions of acid, base and salts. Now what are acids? Like copper sulfate. Copper sulfate solution is called acid. And what is base? The substance which is sour in taste, like lemon juice. Okay, that is called base. And salts. So most liquids that conduct electricity are solution of acid, base and salts. B part is the passage of an electric current through a solution causes dash effects. So answer is chemical effects. The passage of an electric current through a solution causes chemical effects. C part is if you pass current through copper sulfate solution, copper gets deposited on the plate connected to dash terminal, means which terminal? So answer is negative terminal of the battery. Copper gets deposited on the plate which is connected to negative terminal of the battery. D part, the process of depositing a layer of any desired metal on another material by means of electricity, means with the help of electric current, is called dash. So this process is called electroplating. The process of depositing a thin layer of any desired metal on another material with the help of electric current or by means of electricity is called electroplating. Now question number 2 is when the free ends of a tester are dipped into a solution, the magnetic needle shows deflection. Right? Can you explain the reason? Means you have to write the reason for it. Answer is as the electric wires are dipped in the solution, there is a flow of current through it and the compass needle also gets current in its coil. When there is a flow of current through its coil, the compass needle gets some magnetic effect of force and shows deflection because compass are worked on the basis of magnetic effect of force, means on the basis of magnetic effect, and when the compass needle gets current then it shows deflection. This is the main reason. Okay. Now question number 3 is name 3 liquids which when tested in the manner shown in figure may cause the magnetic needle to deflect. Means you have to write the names of 3 liquids which cause the magnetic needle to deflect. Okay. So the answer is the solution that contain impurities can conduct electricity. Suppose if we take a solution in this beaker which conduct electricity, then magnetic needle shows deflection. So the solution may be salt solution, copper sulfate solution, soapy water or any other form of impure water. Okay, because we know that the liquid, the solution which contain impurities can conduct electricity, and when we take a conductive solution then magnetic needle shows deflection. So the conductive solution may be salt solution, copper sulfate solution, soapy water and impure water. Okay. Now question number 4. The bulb does not glow in the setup shown in figure. List the possible reasons. Explain your answer. This is your setup. This is a beaker in which we have taken a solution. Okay. And the ends of these wires are dipped into the solution. This is a battery and this is a bulb of a tester. Okay. So they are saying that the bulb does not glow in this setup. In the question, it is mentioned that this bulb does not glow. Now you have to write the reason, that in which cases, in which situations the bulb does not glow. So the answer is, the bulb does not glow in the given circuit. It is already mentioned. It means electric current will not flow through the circuit, right? Electric current will not flow through the circuit. And what are the possible reasons? The possible reasons that may not glow the bulb are as follows. First is, the liquid which is taken in the beaker may be non-conducting in nature. Okay, due to this reason, the bulb will not glow. In this, there is no flow of electric current, hence the bulb will not glow, because maybe we are taking the non-conductive solution. That's why the bulb will not glow, and that solution can be distilled water, oils, etc. are the liquid that do not conduct electricity. Like if we take oil in a beaker, then on taking oil, it will not conduct electricity. So the reason is, we are taking a non-conductive solution in a beaker. This is your answer. Means if we take distilled water, oil, etc. are the liquid that do not conduct electricity. On taking distilled water or oil, the bulb will not glow. Now question number 5 is, a tester is used to check the conduction of electricity through two liquids labeled A and B, means liquid A and liquid B. And for checking the conduction of electricity, we used a tester. It is found that the bulb of the tester glows brightly for liquid A. Means we have found that the bulb of the tester glows brightly for liquid A, while it glows very dimly for liquid B. You can conclude that first option is, liquid A is better conductor than liquid B. Second option is, liquid B is better conductor than liquid A. Third option is, both liquids are equally conducting. And the last option is, conducting properties of liquid cannot be compared in this manner. So the right option is, liquid A is better conductor than liquid B. And because of the high conductivity of liquid A, the bulb will glow more brightly than liquid B. So this is the right option. Okay, liquid A is better conductor than liquid B. Question number 6 is, does pure water conduct electricity? If not, what can we do to make it conducting? First of all, no, pure water does not conduct electricity, because we already know that the water that contain impurities can conduct electricity. As pure water does not contain impurities, so pure water does not conduct electricity. The solution that contain impurities can conduct electricity, and to make pure water conducting in nature, some amount of salt added to it. Means we can add some amount of salt in pure water to make conductive in nature. Okay, and on adding salt, the pure water become conducting in nature. So what can we do to make it conducting? We can add salt to it. Okay, this is your answer. Question number 7 is, in case of a fire, before the firemen use the water hoses, they shut off the main electrical supply for the area. Explain why they do this. So the answer is, we know that water is always added to stop the fire, right? As water contain impurities that may conduct electricity. Like if there are impurities present in water, it means that water may conduct electricity. And if the electrical supply is not switched off, then electric current can pass through it and the fireman gets an electric shock, which is very dangerous. Means if the electrical supply is not switched off, then the fireman gets an electric shock. Okay, and to prevent from an electric shock, the main electrical supply should always be switched off in case of fire before the fireman poured the water. So what is the main reason? The fireman gets an electric shock, which is very dangerous, and to prevent from an electric shock, the main electrical supply should always be switched off. Okay, this is the main reason. I hope you have understood. Now coming to question number 8. A child staying in a coastal region tests the drinking water and also the sea water. Means a child testing the drinking water and the sea water with his tester. And he finds that the compass needle deflects more in case of sea water. Now, can you explain the reason? Yes, we can. How? We know that the solution that contain impurities is responsible for the conduction of electricity. Right? Means the water which contain impurities can conduct electricity. And when a child tests the drinking water and sea water with the tester that contains compass needle, the compass needle deflects more in sea water than in drinking water. It means what? It means that the flow of current is more in sea water and less in drinking water. Sea water contains more dissolved salt than drinking water. That's why compass needle shows more deflection in case of sea water. Hence, the sea water is more conducting in nature than drinking water. Okay. Question number 9 is it safe for the electrician to carry out electrical repairs outdoors during heavy downpour? Explain. Heavy downpour means heavy rain. Okay. So, the answer is no. It's not safe for the electrician to carry out electrical repairs outdoors during heavy rain. Why? Because rainwater contains some impurities and thus conducting in nature. Means rainwater is conducting in nature. Thus the rainwater can conduct electricity. If the electrician repairs the electrical outdoors during rain, then the electrician may get electric shock. Okay, that's why it's not safe for the electrician to carry out electrical repairs outdoors during heavy downpour or heavy rain. I hope you have understood then that why it is not safe. Okay. Next question is question number 10. Paheli had heard that rainwater is as good as distilled water. So she collected some rainwater in a clean glass tumbler and tested it using a tester. To her surprise, she found that the compass needle showed deflection. What could be the reason? So the answer is, if the compass needle shows deflection on dipping the ends of wire into the rainwater, it means that the current flows through it. It means rainwater contains some salt or impurities in it which makes it conducting in nature. Thus rainwater conducts electricity. Means the reason is the rainwater is conducting in nature because it contains impurity. Question number 11. Prepare a list of objects around you that are electroplated. First is, a fine layer of gold is deposited on the silver ornaments to make it attractive. Second is, chromium plating is done on different parts of cars and buses to give them shiny appearance. Third is, iron used in constructing a building is coated with a layer of zinc, and this protects from corrosion and rusting. So these are some cases in which we used electroplating process. Okay, you can write the another example also. Question number 12 is, the process that you saw in activity 14.7 is used for purification of copper. Actually in activity 14.7, electroplating process is shown to you and we use this process for purification of copper. A thin plate of pure copper and a thick rod of impure copper are used as electrodes. Okay, I am repeating, a thin plate of pure copper and a thick rod of impure copper are used as electrodes. Copper from impure rod is sold to you to be transferred to the thin copper plate. Now question is, which electrode should be attached to the positive terminal of the battery and why? Means you have to write that which electrode should be attached to the positive terminal of the battery and why. To answer this question, we will read activity 14.7. So first of all, we will need copper sulfate and 2 copper plates of size around 10 centimeter into 4 centimeter. Means the material required for doing this activity are copper sulfate and 2 copper plates. Now the procedure is, take 250 ml of distilled water in a clean and dry beaker. You have to take distilled water around 250 ml. Now dissolve 2 teaspoonfuls of copper sulfate in it to make it conductive in nature. To make the solution conductive in nature, we will add 2 spoons of copper sulfate in distilled water. Now add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to copper sulfate solution to make it more conducting. And clean copper plates with sandpaper. Now take the copper plates and clean the copper plates with sandpaper. Now rinse them with water and dry them. Connect the copper plates to the terminals of a battery and immerse them in copper sulfate solution as shown in figure. This is our figure. Okay. These are two copper plates which are immersed in a copper sulfate solution. In this beaker there is a copper sulfate solution and these are two copper plates, and these copper plates are connected to the battery with the help of wire. This end is connected to positive terminal of the battery and this end is connected to negative terminal of the battery. Now what you have to do, pass the electric current for about 15 minutes to this solution. As this solution is conductive in nature, that's why electric current can pass through it. Now pass the electric current for 15 minutes. When the switch is on, an electric current passes through a copper sulfate solution. And on passing the current, copper sulfate dissociates into copper and sulfate. After that, the free copper gets drawn to the electrode that is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and gets deposited on it. Means the copper gets deposited on the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. And a thick plate of impure copper metal electrode is attached to the positive terminal of the battery. Okay, so which electrode should be attached to the positive terminal of the battery? A thick plate of impure copper metal electrode should be attached to the positive terminal of the battery. I hope you have understood. So we have discussed all the NCERT question and now we will discuss the homework solution of previous lecture. Homework solution of previous lecture. First question was fill in the blanks. The object that is to be electroplated is always made dash. So the object that is to be electroplated is always made cathode. Okay. B part, rusting of iron can be prevented by electroplating them with chromium. We can use chromium to prevent the iron from rusting. Second question, explain the process of electroplating with the help of label diagram. Answer is, the process of depositing a thin layer of any superior metal over an object with the help of electric current is called electroplating. And the object that is to be electroplated is always made the cathode, while the object used for coating is made the anode. You can draw this diagram to explain the process of electroplating and write the complete procedure that how can we deposit a thin layer of metal over any another material, like over this spoon. Question number 3, list the uses of electroplating. So the uses or the applications of electroplating are, it is used in jewelry to make its shiny appearance and to prevent the iron objects from rust, to protect or resist from scratches, and last is tin cans that are used for storing food are made by electroplating tin on iron because tin is less reactive than iron and prevent food from getting spoiled. So these are the various uses of electroplating. Last question was distinguish between cathode and anode. So the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of battery is called cathode, and the electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of battery is called anode. So this was your homework solution. So your today's homework is learn and write all the NCERT question. You have to learn all the NCERT question and write all the NCERT questions in your fair notebook. So this ends for today's lecture. Thank you.